The witch cult in Re:Zero stands as one of the most compelling and mysterious groups in all of anime. Born from a forgotten purpose, they now thrive on chaos and destruction, leaving devastation in their wake. Wherever the witch cult's followers gather, ruin inevitably follows, leaving behind only ash and despair. But when a sin archbishop emerges, it's as if a calamity of nature itself had swept through. The sin archbishops wield powers known as authorities, granting them the ability to interfere with the natural laws of the world. The sin archbishops embody the very extremes of human desire, their actions driven by an unrelenting devotion to their sin. Their power distorts reality, their presence warps morality, and their cruelty knows no bounds. We will begin with the Witches of Sin, as they are deeply connected to the witch cult. Although it is not explicitly stated that the Witches of Sin are a part of the witch cult, their actions around 400 years ago significantly shaped what the cult has become today. The Witches of Sin are 6 individuals who absorb the witch factors of the 6 sins, granting them the ability to wield powerful authorities that interfere with the world. The Witch of Pride, Typhon, absorbed the witch factor of pride and wielded the authority of judgment. With this ability, Typhon could determine a person's guilt simply by touching them. Her authority would instantly shatter their body if they were deemed guilty, requiring no evidence or context for their crimes, even if their wrongdoing was directed at themselves. Sekhmet absorbed the witch factor of Sloth and gained the authority of the unseen hands. These spectral hands allowed her to complete tasks she couldn't be bothered to do herself. All she needed to do was imagine a hand performing a task, and it would manifest to carry it out for her. Carmilla absorbed the witch factor of lust and received the authority to shapeshift. If love can be attained by the looks of someone, then all people will love Carmilla as she appears to them like they want her to appear, and she speaks to them the words they want to hear. Minerva absorbed the witch factor of wrath and gained the authority to heal others by striking them. If the natural laws of the world dictated that someone should be injured or bleeding, her authority of wrath could override those laws, healing them instead. Daphne absorbed the witch factor of gluttony and possessed the authority of gluttony, which allowed her to create witchbeasts, powerful monsters that still roam the world to this day. We will explore how these witchbeasts can be considered part of the witch cult in a bit. Echidna, the witch of greed, absorbed the witch factor of greed. She is the smartest and most cunning of all the witches, a genius in magic long before the concept was widely known. She created forbidden spells, such as the ability to transfer a soul from one body to another, among other powerful magic. As more of the story unfolds, it seems Echidna may be plotting something significant, but that get into the realm of spoilers. The last witch, and the most powerful among all the witches, is the Witch of Envy. Around 400 years ago, she initiated a major event known as the Great Calamity, during which half the world was consumed in darkness. These are the 7 Witches of Sin, but there would eventually be 2 additional sins: the sin of Melancholy and the sin of Vainglory. The witch factor of Melancholy was absorbed by Hector, the Warlock of Melancholy. While not much is known about Hector, he was seen pursuing Echidna to the sanctuary with the intent to kill her. Hector appeared to have the ability to apply forces to a subject without physically touching them. Some speculate that his ability involves manipulating gravity or distorting space. However, controlling gravity wouldn't qualify as an authority, as it relies on methods tied to the laws of the world, and would instead be categorized as magic, specifically a spell called Mura. This leads me to speculate that Hector's authority is centered on distorting space rather than gravity. The witch factor of Vainglory resides within the Witch of Vainglory, Pandora, and it seeks to fulfill Pandora's vision of self-importance. Pandora might possess one of the strongest, if not the strongest, authorities in the entire world. Her authority allows her to literally reshape the world to conform to her vision of how it should be. For example, if Pandora decided that a place didn't need to have Regulus in it, her authority would act to remove him from that location. Similarly, if Pandora decided that she should remain in the world, her death would be negated entirely. This is the true definition of interfering with the world itself. Due to Satella's inability to be killed, a sage, a sword saint, and a dragon joined forces to seal her away. Afterward, the sage planted a tree that would later be used to kill the white whale. After the deaths of the witches, their witch factors were consumed by individuals who later became known as the Sin Archbishop. While the witch cult was said to have been founded by Petelgeuse and a few others, the witch factor of Sloth was passed down to Petelgeuse by a person named Flugel, who is speculated to be the true founder of the cult. At this stage, the cult primarily consisted of a moderate faction led by Petelgeuse. However, Pandora, the Witch of Vainglory, interfered with the cult and began recruiting new members, effectively becoming the new leader of the organization. Regulus Corneas absorbed the witch factor of greed and became the leader of the cult's radical faction. The authority of greed ensures that no one can interfere with Regulus's rights. For example, no one may interrupt him when he speaks, and attacks cannot touch him. Regulus' greed manifests in his actions, as he roams the world collecting wives, assigning them numbers because he doesn't bother remembering their name. This group of people forms Regulus's personal kingdom. However, he has no emotional attachment to his wives and may kill them at any time. After failing to make Fortuna, Emilia's adoptive mother, his wife, Regulus, now seeks to make Emilia his 79th wife. Another person recruited into the newly reformed witch cult was Petelgeuse, one of the original founders of the main witch cult. Following his fight with Fortuna and Regulus, Petelgeuse was forced to absorb the witch factor of Sloth, gaining the ability to wield the unseen hand. Unfortunately, the witch factor of Sloth was incompatible with Petelgeuse, placing a significant toll on his body. After these events, Pandora whispered something into Petelgeuse's ear, causing him to laugh his first mad laugh. Killing Betelgeuse is perhaps one of the most challenging tasks due to his unique method of survival. He has a group of cultists known as the Fingers, who serve as his spare bodies. If his main body is destroyed, Petelgeuse can transfer his consciousness into one of the Fingers. Beneath the Fingers are the lower-ranking cultists, referred to as the Shadow. Another Sin Archbishop is the Sin Archbishop of Wrath, Sirius, who appears to be in love with Petelgeuse. Some speculate that she may be Fortuna due to a few similarities between the two. Sirius's authority causes people to share their senses, which she can intensify to extreme levels. This often pushes individuals to the far ends of the emotional spectrum. For example, she killed Subaru by making him experience intense fear, leading to a cardiac arrest, and she could also make people feel so much happiness that they would cry over horrific scenes. The witch factor of Gluttony moved into the Gluttony siblings, with each one absorbing a different aspect of Gluttony. Gluttony is considered the most hated archbishop due to his gruesome act of consuming Rem's memories and her name. When a person's name is eaten, those around the world will forget they ever existed. If a person's memories are eaten, as with Crush, they will forget who they are. Gluttony also has a trump card in his authority called the Eclipse, but this hasn't been shown, so it won't be discussed further here. The Sin Archbishop of Lust was consumed by Capella Emerada Lugnica, who gained the ability to shapeshift. Capella travels the world seeking out talented individuals, whom she refers to as her children. Two of her children are Kurgan and Theresia. Theresia was born with the divine protection of the death god, which made any strike she landed on an enemy cause a lasting injury that couldn't be healed. For this reason, she refrained from wielding a sword for a long time. When she finally became a sword saint, she only used her sword when required. So whenever Theresia walked with a sword, you knew something serious was about to happen. Her husband, Wilhelm von Astrea, could identify her presence because his injury would reopen whenever he got close to her. On the other hand, Kurgan was regarded as the strongest among the generals of the Wallachia Empire. The witch factors of melancholy, vainglory, and envy remain unabsorbed by others. as their original holders are still alive to this day. The Witch of Envy could not be killed, leading to her being sealed, with the witch factor of envy still residing within her. Although Subaru's authority of return by death seems to be linked to the Witch of Envy, given that she appears to stop him from sharing knowledge of it, some speculate that this authority might have originally been passed down from Flugel, the founder of the witch cult. One thing is certain, this authority is immensely powerful. However, it comes with a severe drawback. The user must die for it to interfere with the world. The authority will then dictate the world have Subaru in it, and must not go on without him. The Witch of Vainglory, Pandora, is also still alive. She was last seen in the company of Theresia. On the other hand, it is speculated that the soul of the Warlock of Melancholy might exist within Roswaal due to several notable similarities between the two. For instance, Roswaal now dresses in a manner resembling how the Warlock of Melancholy used to dress. In Emilia's Trials of the Future, Roswaal remarks that it seems he has not lived alone all this time. When his Book of Wisdom was thrown into the fire, Roswaal L expressed a sensation in his eyes, throbbing so intensely that it felt as if they could fall out. Daphne's ideology revolved around preventing hunger, and so every monster she created was somehow intended to address this issue, either by being killed and eaten to alleviate hunger, or by killing humans to free them from the suffering of experiencing it. Above all the witchbeasts, there existed three major creatures tasked with eliminating hunger. The white whale is enormous, allowing people to sustain themselves for a long time if they manage to hunt it. The great rabbit can multiply infinitely, meaning its numbers could potentially feed the entire population of the planet. The last of these three great beasts is the Black Serpent, which isn't meant to be eaten. Instead, it exists to kill those who suffer from hunger. While most of the witch beasts Daphne created were meant to eliminate hunger, two of them stand out as unique. The Centipede Coffin was used as a method of transportation by its creator, while the Crimson Scorpion may be the most important of all the various Mabeasts. This beast has the ability to transform into a human and possesses intellect, with a significant connection to Subaru. On the other side, it is speculated that Al, the Knight of Priscilla, might have some connection to the witch cult. There is an air of mystery surrounding this character. It was first revealed in episode 13 of season 1, or I should better say that it was supposed to be revealed. That Al also came from the real world and was transported to this world around 18 years ago. Though this was not fully covered in the anime, it was later discussed in the mini-Re Zero anime. Al seems to have knowledge about Typhon's remains existing beneath the city of Pristella. He also has information regarding the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, warning Subaru not to give him his name. Additionally, Al was found with a communication device linked to the witch cult, and it appeared he contacted Regulus, though Emilia picked up on the other side. Elsa and Melee were two of Capella's children. Elsa was an assassin who carried out various missions, and Roswaal hired her to attack Emilia and steal her insignia at the beginning of the story. This was all part of Roswaal's plan to make Subaru approach Emilia and eventually join him in his mission. Melee, on the other hand, had the ability to control witch beasts due to the divine blessing she received, which allowed her to command these creatures. She participated in two significant events. One involved causing the Walgarm to attack Arlem village and steal the children, and the other occurred during the attack on the mansion. Strive Wallachia was the Sin Archbishop of Pride and the mortal enemy of Wilhelm van Austria during the era of the Sword Demon. About 30 years ago, he set off one of the worst days the kingdom of Lugnica had ever encountered by summoning the Blight Dragon. This event wreaked havoc and left a lasting scar on the kingdom's history. Spica will later on go with Subaru on an adventure and become his travel companion.